Welcome to the Mother May I podcast with Frank and Irene on Strong Island Entertainment. Gee, I hope I didn't make a mistake with these two. They promised me they'd bring in some really good guests. Well, anyway, here's Frank and Irene.
Welcome to Mother May I podcast with Mr. Frank Conniff. I'm Irene Bremis. That beautiful music in the front, that melody that starts and kicks off our goddamn show is from the lovely, the luscious in Jackson, Gabby Glazer, from her album Gimme Splash. The tune is called Balls Out. Check her out. She's amazing. We love her. Mr. Conniff, I miss you. I love you, but fuck you. Another book? Another book?
You mean my new book, Action-Packed Apartments, which is two thrill-a-minute novellas in one exciting volume? Yes, I do have a new book.
Oh my God, Frank. Okay, first of all, I seriously mean this with all my heart. You are literally the most prolific guy in this business. You really, really are. Now,
I think
I didn't know that you were writing
Stephen King would argue about that.
Well, fuck Stephen King, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You're doing this all on your own. You're doing this, he's in Maine. He's got, I mean, not that New York isn't beautiful, but he's got a lot of, incentive. New York, you're a comic. We fight depression. You write this beautiful book. Now, when did you start this book? Seriously, when did you start writing?
I started it I think maybe last fall, maybe, or after my last book came out, late last fall, early this year, I would say, was when I started it.
So tell us a little bit about the book. So is this predicated on neighbors living within your building?
Well, no, it's two different stories that are unrelated, but they both take place in the same building, a building very similar to my building. You would figure that out if you read it, because I mention in the book how many old people live in this building, me being one of them. But I'm actually one of the sprightly young people here, and it's two different novellas. One is called The Crazy Cat Lady in Apartment 2B, and it's about this woman with 4 cats. But she's not what you would think she is. And that's kind of what that story is about. It's kind of an adventure story. And then the other story is called The True Crime Podcaster in Apartment 3C. And that's a guy doing a true crime podcast about a murder that he witnessed at a rock concert in the 70s. So if you like lots of jokes about 70s prog rock, this is the story for you.
Oh, I fucking love it. I think you should have a sequel too called Deliverance on Wheels, the bus to the Capitol, about the asshole that lived in your building. Remember with the whole Capitol rioting? Didn't you have a guy?
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, you're right. I didn't.
You didn't jump on that.
Now you tell me that now after I published the book. That would have been like a whole other story to do.
Oh, please, Frank. Okay, you're not going to publish 20 more. It's disgusting. All right, you need to slow down. It's crazy. No, you don't need to slow down. This is amazing and it's inspiring. And you need to. Everybody listening to this, if anybody is goddamn listening to this, you need to buy Frank's books and Frank, I need my signed copy as well. I always.
You'll get it. You'll get it.
I read all his books, I think, except for one, and all of them have been nonstop hilarity. And on that note, because we have
speaking of nonstop hilarity,
go ahead.
We have one of the funniest people in the world on our show right now.
We do, and one of the sweetest people, and one of my best friends, and Frank's as well. She's a regular on this show because we love her and can't get enough of her. Coming on the show, Carmen Lynch, everybody. Let's clap it up.
Yay.
Carmen Lynch. This is my t-shirt. They're real. I know it's insensitive. But Carmen, hi, sweetie.
I always love coming on this show because I love you guys. So it's nice to be back. I feel like a regular.
You are a regular. We haven't had anybody on more than you at all. I keep trying to rope you in every chance I get, every single chance I get. So we do have a small amount of time, and I really wanted to kick the show off to talk about certain things that happened this week. One of them, and the headlining news for me in my life, because I'm a fucking, what do you call it, trash mag kind of gal. Nicki Minaj, everybody. I have the name Nicki Minaj, okay? So Nicki Minaj earlier this week in a tweet said, let's see if I can find her tweet. Well, I'm looking for a tweet. Well, essentially what her tweet said, it was, Frank, you heard about this.
Oh yeah, and I'm really pissed about it because it was a complete invasion of my privacy for her to talk about my swollen balls like that. You know, that was private information.
That was private information. So I should probably already have this pulled up, but I'm a sloppy host. Basically what she was saying, and I'm not going to, obviously, I don't have the quote so I can read it. And that's what producers are for. Bobby! Anyway, this is the thing. She said that her cousin's friend had a swollen testicle as a result of the vaccination. And she has like 12 million followers on Twitter.
Like 20 million, I think.
I think 22 million. Yeah.
22. Again, erroneous information. I'm worse than Nicki Minaj. Thank God we don't have any followers for this show. So I'm not going to spread fucking misinformation like wildfire. The point is that she has 22 million followers, and these people hang on to her every word. And I was really irate that she's fucking misleading these people with erroneous information.
Especially about Frank's balls.
Yes.
Now listen, I have the tweet. Do you want me to read the tweet?
Yes, read the tweet. But before we start, Frank, I have swollen balls too, and it wasn't because of the vaccination.
It's not just my ego that's swollen. Let me tell you.
And what's wrong with swollen balls? You know what I mean? The bigger the balls, the better, right?
Exactly.
Hold on
That's
to.
what I say. That's what I say. Okay, go ahead, Carmen. Thank you for being the more, what do you call that? Orderly and with the tweet.
Ready? My cousin in Trinidad won't get the vaccine because his friend got it and became impotent. His testicles became swollen. His friend was weeks away from getting married. Now the girl called off the wedding. So just pray on it and make sure you're comfortable with your decision, not bullied.
That's it. Now, listen to this. Somebody might read this, may hang on to this word. This bitch has blood on her hands, okay? Now, she may be somebody who's afraid to get the vaccination, but by even tweeting that with 22 million followers, literally, this girl has blood on her hands.
Cum on her hands. She's got cum.
People will die as a result of this tweet.
But you know what? Also, I just want to say that just because your testicles are swollen doesn't mean you're impotent.
It could be an ingrown hair, bitch. You know what I mean?
Right.
Come on.
Or your underwear is too tight and it's making your balls swell.
Right.
That's right. Tight underwear does that, and ingrown hair does that.
It just it makes teabagging a little harder. That's all, you know. But
yeah.
And also, this girl is a bitch for canceling the wedding just because the love of her life has swollen testes. I mean, can't you? For better or for worse? For worse is the swollen testicles. For worse.
The worst is the swollen testicles. You know what? And so what if he's what was it? They thought that he was
impotent.
What was it? Impotent. He's impotent. Oh, so now he's impotent. This is a lot of information for just there's a lot going on with Ballgate. Okay, she has a lot of information. Now there's a lot of shit going on. But what happened?
They should call it the teabag dome scandal.
Yeah, they should. They absolutely should. They should just call it the Nicki Minaj is a lying twat scandal. How's that? Because what I think is what's happening now is that Nicki Minaj is deflecting from an even bigger scandal that's going on. The fact that she is covering for her boyfriend. Did you guys hear about her husband?
What happened? No.
Okay, so this just in, you know, when I looked this in, so here's the thing that's happening with her now. Kenneth Petty, who is Nicki Minaj's husband, was allegedly, and I believe it absolutely happened, held a woman at knife point and raped her. The woman's name is Jennifer Hugh. And Nicki Minaj, this is all coming out now, and Nicki Minaj said that, alluded to the fact that the woman was white, okay? Given the country's history with black men being falsely accused by white women, and it turns out the woman is not white, she's black, and not only is she black, but Nicki Minaj has been threatening her all these years to lie and recant her story. Okay, and who does this sound like, Frank? Who does stuff like this?
The former president of the United States, possibly.
I could always count on you. You can't count on me. If you ask me that question, like whimsically, I'll be like, I don't know.
But I'm not. I refuse to think about his swollen balls, though. So I'm not.
Are you saying that Nicki Minaj is Trump in disguise?
I'm saying that Nicki Minaj pulled a fucking Trump because I'm questioning whether or not she used this vaccination tweet, that pretty much blew up on Twitter as a tool or implement of deflection.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is if that was her motivation for it, it's not a worse motivation than just tweeting bullshit. Even if her only intent was to tweet this bullshit, that's just as bad because she has 22 million followers.
You're right.
It's so irresponsible to put out, and it's hilarious now because of this tweet. Now, for a while, Fox News was swollen balls 24/7. They totally went crazy over the swollen balls.
They did.
The opposite of Tom Brady with the deflated balls. That's what's so interesting.
A deflated ball is better than a swollen ball because swollen balls just make your dick smaller looking.
Right. That's right. Well,
so that's the problem here. Yeah.
That's right. You can't find it. Fixating your dick. That's a very solid point, Carmen.
Thank you so much. I'm here for the small penised men. I'm here for you. I don't want you. I don't want you, but I'm supporting your fight for a bigger dick. So smaller balls.
Yes.
Smaller balls.
So very emphasize those small dick people, those other people besides me demand our compassion.
That's right. That's good. This is altruism at its finest, Carmelita. Any hoosers. So the thing being that you're right, Frank, and either way, that tweet is like just an unforgivable twat move.
So has she apologized?
No, she did not. And I like a girl that stands her ground. I've always liked Nicki Minaj because she's intrepid. She speaks her mind, and I always love anybody who has swollen balls, if we're going to stay on the topic of balls. You know what I mean? But when you have 22 million followers and you just tweet out this statement about the vaccination being unsafe, then people are going to listen to you. And you know what? There are going to be casualties as a result because they're not going to get vaccinated. And I can absolutely guarantee there are going to be casualties. Now, the other is that she's derailing completely in her life because this other thing with this woman, this guy raped this woman at knife point, and Nicki Minaj has been threatening this woman for years now.
Wow.
So if she's been threatening this woman, but she didn't know the color of, she didn't know that she wasn't white.
That's a very good question, sweetie. That's why I married you. And, and I did. This is my wife. Isn't she pretty? Well, here's the thing. She has been threatening this woman for years, and she knew she was black, but she misled the public.
Oh, so she purposely, okay. So not only, I thought she just made an assumption she must be white. She actually lied and said, no, I know this woman is a person of color. I'm just going to tell the world she's white.
I'm just going to tell the world she's white. And
Nicki. Your next song should be, I was wrong.
I'm gonna ban her and never buy her records again. Not that I ever did buy her records.
But. I'll tell you, it's just another thing. Oh, I had the tweet pulled up right here and I didn't read it. It's just, to me, what's going on with the Me Too movement. Women are not believed as it is, and you have this woman in a position of power, a woman of color that has an opportunity to help women, march forward with this endless plight of abuse. And what does she do? She uses her platform to not only call a woman a liar, but also she's threatening this woman, and apparently this woman was on the show called The Real. The victim, her name is, let's look it up again, Jennifer Hugh, was on a talk show and said that Nicki Minaj or her team dropped $20,000 in her lap so that she would recant her story. And when she continued to refuse to recant her story, she said, well, that $20,000 is going to go on your head. Now you're going to put a hit out on me?
Wow. And just to get an idea, how long ago did this alleged rape happen? Just to get an idea.
Okay,
like how
so
long has she been threatening her?
For like, I want to say, and I'm not sure if this is right, but I want to say like since high school. This happened in high school. So
wow.
I'm thinking like 20 years. I could be wrong because I'm always wrong pretty much.
Wow.
And Carmen is like looking up all the information.
I'm like, let me check because I know what Irene
Well,
thinks.
if it was that long ago, the statute of limitations are swollen now. So it's
You're right, Frank. Exactly, and that's what's so and that's what's so hurtful. So it just scares me, and especially in light of what's going on, especially with what's going on in Texas.
You know, as an older guy, I just want to say this never happened with Peggy Lee. Okay.
Carmen, do you know who Peggy Lee is?
I forgot. I'm Googling her. Who is she?
Okay, I don't know her. I'm not afraid to say that because I don't know her because I'm not old. Sorry, Frank.
Peggy Lee.
Peggy Lee.
Okay.
Who's Peggy Lee?
She was a singer. That's all I know.
Singer. That's it? Well, Frank, what's the catch with Peggy Lee?
You know what? Let's move on.
Let's move on from Peggy Lee. Okay.
The reference did not land.
Peggy Lee has nothing to do with Nicki Minaj for now because Peggy Lee.
Nicki Minaj, please stay on topic, Frank. So it's just a terrible, now we have Florida. I don't know if you guys read this. I haven't been reading the news all week. So
I haven't either. What's happening in Florida besides COVID?
Happening in Florida, apparently they're trying to implement the same bullshit that Texas is using for the abortion ban. They're trying to, criminalize a woman or anybody abortion past 6 weeks. Now, I'm going to tell you this, okay? I have been pregnant before, and most women do not know that they're pregnant well after 6 goddamn weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
They do not know that they're pregnant.
Yeah, it's almost as if these people are anti-women, Because that's what it's about. These conservatives, they say that it's about the life of an unborn. They don't give a shit about that. What they want to do is prevent women from having agency over their own bodies and to put them in a subservient place. And they love the idea of ruining a woman's life by letting a woman who's been raped or a victim of incest, who's 12 years old, go ahead and have their kid. It's horrific. It's beyond.
We don't
horrific.
need more kids in this world. We really don't. So I'm all for abortion. I have not had any, but the world is a shitty place too. Okay, we don't need to have all of them.
Right.
Right. And I have had an abortion, and if anybody judges me, they can go fuck themselves. And here's the thing. A woman can be 13 years old. She can get raped by somebody. She could get raped by somebody, and her raper can turn her in, and he has the incentive to do so because they're going to gift him $1,000. That's how much we don't give a shit about women in this country.
Right.
I can't even believe that this is even happening anywhere. And what's going to happen now with what's going on from Texas to Florida, what's going to happen is that it's going to be contagious.
Yeah.
Other states that are pro-life, or if that's what you can call it, I hate even using that statement, are going to follow suit. Frank, what do you think about that?
Pro-life is an expression you should never use. It does not apply to these people. They're not pro-life, as is obvious from COVID. And speaking of Florida, they have a new Surgeon General who's discouraging people from taking vaccines. He's discouraging people from wearing masks, and he's probably going to put a warning on cigarettes to keep smoking. There's nothing wrong with it, So these people are not pro-life. They're actually, I've never experienced in my lifetime a group of people who embrace death the way Republicans do in this day and age.
They are
You're right, Carmen.
pro-control. They are pro-control.
Yes.
They
And
are.
I feel like they're trying to divert from the real problems in this world. Like, of all that energy that we're spending on the bullshit stuff that just doesn't make sense, like, we could be spending it on real problems. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right, Carmen. There's so many issues that we can tackle, but this is just another way, as Frank, as you stated, to keep women back. And Carmen, you know this, and Frank, you know this. You're never going to get rid of abortion. You're just going to get rid of safe abortions.
Exactly. And I mean, look at the huge problem we have now with the Haitians under the bridge, and I just living in these dirty tents and everything. Like,
Yeah.
that's something we need to focus on, not these other things.
Yeah.
But certainly not Nicki Minaj's erroneous tweets. And the reason why I brought up the whole what's going on with the abortion ban is that, here we have a woman that's against women, and this is, I mean, it's bad enough that we have to fight like crazy, outdated, archaic thinking fucking GOP people. And I don't want to use the word pro-lifers, pro-deathers, really. But now here's a woman that's also, not supporting another woman that was raped at knife point.
Yeah. It's, if I had 22 million followers, I would use it for productive things like promoting my shows and stuff, not this bullshit.
Which is exactly what she should be sticking to, promoting her shows. What would you do if you had 22 million followers, Carmen?
I would just post silly videos with my friend Irene.
Oh my
Silly
God, her videos.
Videos,
Your videos are the best.
with wigs. No, look, I'm sure it's hard to be an influencer and it all goes to your head and your ego gets away with shit and you're not always aware of what you're doing. I get all that. But you I don't know, have a PR person. Check in with like a PR person before you start tweeting bullshit, because if we tweet that, nothing's going to happen because we don't have that kind of following.
Right.
But I mean, she can affect people's choices, these young teenagers who like idolize her and other people like that. And it's just, it's another reason why technology is bad, because we give everyone a platform and now everyone has a voice. And some people, I don't know, I'm not saying she shouldn't have a voice, but maybe someone should check in with her, but whatever.
No, you're right. It's a huge responsibility. You're right. The bigger the platform, the bigger the responsibility. So, you have to be careful when you deliver a message, because if you have fans that hang on to your every word, this could mislead them.
But I don't think you know those things at that age. I think that's something you learn later in life, is how you can affect the world. She's not doing anything unusual. She's a rich, powerful young person, like.
Right.
How old is she?
I don't know, but
Let me Google it.
Probably, I know she's younger than Peggy Lee. That's all I can tell you.
ah,
See, that's how self-destructive I am. I come back with another Peggy Lee reference.
I mean, you know what it is? You had a callback on Peggy Lee. This actually redeemed you, Frank. What are you talking about?
she's not that young. She's 38. She's 38.
I knew it. That's why I asked.
I did not know that. I thought she was way younger. I thought she was like Ariana Grande, like that young.
Like when you're in your 20s, when you're in your early 20s, we have to cut people slack, because when I was in my 20s, I did nothing but stupid things,
Of
but
course.
it wasn't public, and nobody knew about it. That's why. Like, I'm glad that people now are more aware of like how horribly Britney Spears was treated when she was in her early 20s,
Oh, yeah.
and she was shaving her head and and getting involved in just stuff that young people get involved with. It's but
Right.
people are so judgmental towards her, and I think people need to cut young. But 38, you maybe by the time you're 38, you should know a few
You
things.
should know better. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You should know better. Also, I don't care how old you are. When your husband goes to jail for 4 years for attempted fucking rape, he raped her at knife
Yeah.
point, but he's going to jail for attempted rape. He serves 4 years. Any age, any woman would support a woman that has been raped. So,
Right.
I mean, yes and no on that one, because we were all 22 years old. And, I can see her saying, with the tweet about if you're in your 20s and you say something, you tweet something irresponsible, I could totally see that. But this is a whole different story. I mean, this guy is an unregistered sex offender now. And this is why this is being unearthed, because he doesn't want that stigma on his record. How about the fact that she has to fucking wake up every day in fear? She's isolating. She's living alone. She is terrified for her family, and she was raped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
wait,
like-
did you say he went to jail for 4 years, or was that just in a? Okay.
Oh, I didn't know
years.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that
Yeah.
either.
Yeah, 4 years he went for attempted rape.
Yeah. Well, it's it's why this is just another example of why women don't report rapes, because
Great point.
it makes their life worse in many
Yes,
cases,
in
there's
many
and
cases.
they don't get any justice. Right now, Bill Cosby is sitting in his mansion, living his best life. And remember everybody said that the women who were accusing Cosby, oh, they're just looking for fame and attention. Can anybody name one of them now?
No.
There's no fame or attention that came from it, and nothing but frustration. And these women are probably so traumatized now that he's been released.
Absolutely right. That's such a good point, Frank. And that's exactly why more victims aren't coming out.
Yeah.
Especially-
And they continue, our male-dominated society, we continue to make it really hard for especially women who are sufferers of sexual abuse to get any kind of justice or any kind of healing from it, because society is against them.
I can't believe I forgot all about the fact that he's out. I forgot, and that's
Yeah.
infuriating.
And no, he's out, and he's
And
living
Donald
his
Trump
best-
is out. Donald Trump isn't in jail either, I might
No.
point out. Our sexual abuser.
Kavanaugh isn't in jail either.
Yeah, exactly. And in Trump's case, many plausible accusations of sexual abuse, and the media doesn't even cover it. They don't even give a shit. So that's another reason why women don't come forward, because the powerful men in our society really don't give a shit and wish you would go away. They'd rather everybody just shut up so they can party on Jeffrey Epstein's island.
But what about all the other things that Trump could be arrested for? Like, aren't they going after him and his family for that?
Well,
Like-
they are. There's currently an investigation about their taxes and stuff, and all that. But it's just very frustrating. It seems, I've gotten to the point where I don't know if in my lifetime I'm going to see Donald Trump get prosecuted
I know.
or arrested for anything. Because you figure it would have happened by now.
Yeah,
it would have
something.
happened. It would have happened years ago. It would have. He shouldn't have been able to run for president because he should have already been in jail.
Yeah, exactly. He should be disqualified. It's disgusting. I mean, we've been hearing about his taxes, or it's a longer fucking tune than an Allman Brothers tune. We've been hearing about this goddamn tax thing for fucking ages now, but you're right. They fly under the radar, which, again, really makes me feel so mad, and that's why it's so maddening that that Nicki is supporting her rapist husband over a woman because of all these reasons.
Speaking of rapists, let's not
Yes.
forget that woman who worked with Epstein. Where the fuck is she? Yes.
That's right. She's in. Well, she has her trial coming out, Now, she's another one. You're right. And that's awesome, Carmen, that you brought her up because she's exactly what we're talking about. She's another woman.
To the nth degree.
That's
Someone
right.
who not only, because some women just, help men who are like that by not saying anything, but she actively like procured women for Jeffrey Epstein and
She did.
yeah.
But that's
and,
He
so.
pimped them out. She was his pimp.
But that is so confusing psychologically to me. Like, I'm not saying rape by a man is less, but it's like, I don't understand when it's a woman to be a woman and to help. Like, I don't understand psychologically how that works.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's a good point. I think, Carmen, that's a really good point because it makes you believe, starts to lead you, not that I have any empathy for Ghislaine, okay? But here's the thing, or Ghislaine, whatever the fuck, Jizz. The point is that she, what happens in a woman's mind that, what happened to you as a child?
Exactly. Like that. I mean, men is still not excused, but you're like testosterone, anger, misogyny. Like you can kind of like go like, okay, but a woman.
well,
like,
her father was Robert Maxwell was a very famous media mogul, I think, in Great Britain, and he supposedly killed himself by jumping off a boat or jumping off his yacht. But there's always been questions about him that if he faked his own death because he was like under indictment for like a million things, and then so that's her background. She was kind of brought up. And she didn't learn anything from that. And, some people, when they're brought up by a parent like that, they go in the opposite direction.
right.
But she went in the same direction. And, I think when there's all that money is involved, it really corrupts people. It corrupts men and it corrupts women, too.
Right.
I
It does
mean-
corrupt women and men.
Clearly, there's no empathy. There's no. I mean, is she labeled a sociopath? Like,
That's what I was going to say. I agree, Carmen. Sociopathic behavior. Absolutely.
like
Yeah.
these young women, and you're just like, let them get raped. Let me just lead them that. Like, it's just insane to me.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I think it's sociopathic. Of course it is.
Yeah.
And it sounds like her father, which Frank, we didn't know the backstory on her dad, but it sounds like he was a sociopath too. It sounds like your parent, we all had like everything. I believe everything is genetic, So who knows what happened with her, but yes, I believe it is sociopathic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you grow up without love or whatever, and you place value not in compassion and love, and you place it in money and wealth, then it's going to corrupt you, and it's going to take you in that direction, I think.
Also,
I mean, what?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Wasn't Ted Bundy the one? I can't remember which serial killer it was.
Very charming.
Who actually witnessed his mother's, or I think it was his mother's suicide. Do you remember? Did you ever watch? One of them, like, actually witnessed a family member, like a parent's suicide. And apparently that was like a big thing that like he never recovered from, and he became
Right.
But I can't remember. I think it was Ted Bundy. I can't remember.
I think you're right, and that was the catalyst to his killing spree. Yeah.
Yeah, like just not. I mean, therapy. People, therapy. Come on.
3 times a week, I'm in therapy.
At
Get your
least.
ass into fucking therapy and work out your problems.
I'm not currently in therapy because I have a very busy schedule of serial killing, and I don't want it to get in the way of that.
At least you have a schedule. You're a
And by serial
responsible.
killing, he means he can go through a box of Cocoa Puffs in one day. Come on, Frank. Okay, that was a bad joke. I'm sorry. Okay.
I'm cuckoo
Better
for
than
that
Peggy
joke.
Lee.
What a lighthearted episode. Beautiful.
Yeah. We like to start off. What day are we on? Thursday morning we just like to start it off nice and light so that we can really catapult your day. So we are getting to the very end of the hour. So I want to make sure everybody gets to talk about what they're doing. And we're going to start with our lovely guest, Carmen Lynch. What is going on in your world, sweetie?
Well, I am going to be in Fort Collins, Colorado, October 1st and 2nd, and Boulder, Colorado, October 3rd. So Colorado, if you're listening, please come out. Everything's on CarmenLynch.com. The tickets, the links, Colorado, and all my socials are at Carmen Comedian, TikTok, Instagram, all the weird videos at Carmen Comedian. And don't forget to listen to The Human Centipede. It has nothing to do with The Human Centipede, the movie. The Human Centipede is a podcast. Check it out on iTunes.
Oh my God, I love your podcast. I love your videos. I mean, you got to follow this girl. She's amazing. She's absolutely amazing.
And Carmen, you've been doing a lot of gigs on the road and stuff, right? How has that been in
great, Frank. I was going to ask that.
COVID world?
I mean, it's not bad. I just got back from San Antonio, and it was pretty packed. People are going out. I think it's still I feel like some days it's almost caught up to the regular days before COVID, and some days it's not. But it'll be interesting to go out to I have Colorado, and then I have Austin right after. So it'll be interesting to see, like, you know, how full these rooms get.
Are they wearing masks in these places, or are they you know, because it took a while for the audiences to warm up. How are you feeling? Are they starting to like sort of like?
It's mixed. It's mixed. Like in some places, it's more. A lot of places are just checking to see if you're vaccinated, which we all know that doesn't mean as much anymore. But it'll be interesting to see. Like in Colorado, I don't know what they're like. In Texas, a lot of people went unmasked.
Yeah, they don't be. There's no requirements.
Texas, they're pro-lifers.
Yeah. So it's I keep mine on, and I try not to get too close to people, and people still handshake and hug, and I'm keeping it at this or at this.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm glad to hear that. So so I'm guessing you're on stage, you're unmasked, but off stage you put the mask back on, right?
Yeah, and you know, if there's a room where there's a lot of people, I don't go in it. I try to stay outside if I'm talking to people.
Oh, that's good.
But I'm trying to just carry my little spray everywhere and just spray people's faces before I talk to them.
You have to be careful. You'd look a little crazy wearing a mask on stage unless you were a ventriloquist.
Yeah, you do look a little crazy, but.
That's crazy. Now, Mr. Frank Conniff. Sorry, go ahead.
Ventriloquist wearing a mask kind of, ruins the whole effect, doesn't it? It's kind of
Or
funny.
if you're a shitty ventriloquist, it helps your act. You got to think of it as the glass half full, sweetie. Frank, what's going on with you? And talk about your fabulous new book.
My new book, which I've already plugged. I'll plug it one more time. It's called Action-Packed Apartments, 2 separate novellas in one exciting thriller-minute volume, and it's available at Amazon. So people can check that out with my other books, which are also available. And also this Saturday, Traceable, you and I are rebroadcasting one of our most popular movie riffs that we did, The Tingler with Vincent Price. With Vincent Price's daughter, Victoria Price, as our special Q&A guest. That was a great show. We're rerunning it Saturday, September 25th at 10 p.m. And then next month, we're doing a whole new evening of movie riffs of short films, which are one of the most popular things we do. That'll go to my Twitter and all my social media. You can find out all the information, or go to Eventbrite.com and just type in the Mads, and that'll give you all that info. So that's kind of
amazing.
That's great. I didn't realize you had a new book out. That's awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I'm got a new one out. I'm getting good feedback from it too. People have already read it, and I'm hearing people are digging it.
I'll check it out.
I'm not surprised because your books are hilarious. Seriously, Frank.
Oh, thank
and,
you.
so let me see, Vincent Price, man. I grew up with, I remember seeing him on that Saturday day when they have horror films. Victoria Price, how old is she now?
She's probably like my age, I guess, around like something like that. Vincent died quite a while ago. And but he made the thing about Vincent Price is he made all of these like schlocky horror movies, but he's always so good in all of them, and he always like gives a great performance, and he always had a great attitude about it. Like he didn't look down on it. He just always gave it his best shot. And when you talk to his daughter, she obviously loved him, and obviously he was like a great person, and they had a great relationship. So it was really nice to talk to her about him because he was such a good actor.
He was a brilliant theatrical actor.
And his voice.
Yeah,
I always thought he was gay. Didn't you?
I don't know. I was just afraid of him.
that's what he was going for, was to be afraid of him. But apparently, like the nicest, incredibly nice person.
He was that voice in the Michael Jackson video, Thriller.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. He was so good. Wow. Amazing that you got to meet his daughter. That's incredible. Okay. I am on social media at Irene Bremis, all platforms. That's it. Anything that I do is going to be posted there. And please continue to tune into this show. We have great guests, as you can see from today. And we will, we're here every Thursday on all platforms, now on Audible too, because we're badasses. So continue to tune in, follow us on Instagram at Mother May I Podcast with Frank and Irene. Sorry, Frank.
No, Irene and Frank. It's how it should be.
Anyway, we love you, Carmen. I
love you guys.
Love you, Carmen.
Always good to see you.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back next week.
Thanks for tuning in to the Mother May I podcast with Frank and Irene on Strong Island Entertainment. Check us out next week when Frank and Irene sit down with, I don't know what these two are going to do next, but we'll see you next week.